Hey guys, how's it going? I'm debuting the glasses today. I hope you like. I've been wearing glasses since I was like in 4th grade or something, but been wearing them recently a lot more. And it's whatever. So my album / beat tape Comped has been out for like a month now or something like that. I hope y'all have been enjoying that. I'm really proud of that project. I've done a couple song breakdowns for some of the songs off that album. I think I did 3. So, feel free to go check those out and check out the new music if you feel so obliged. The link will be down in the description. But this video is going to be a little bit of a blast from the past a little bit. We're rewinding the clocks back a few months back to my EP / album, mini album that I came out with back in September called Find the Real Me. A song that I really wanted to talk about on that EP or album. I don't even know what it is. I'll just call it an album. One of the songs I really wanted to talk about on that album was Eyes, and I never got to talk about it. It's the only song on that album so far that I've released a music video for, and I love that song. It's probably that and Hit Me One More Time are probably my 2 favorite songs on that album. I really wanted to talk about Eyes. Maybe I'll talk about Hit Me One More Time as well. I just want to talk about this song. Hopefully you've already heard it, but if you haven't, again, link will be in description for my album Find the Real Me, which is what this song that I'm about to talk about is off of. It's track number 2, Eyes. I'm seeing myself out. It's such a waste of time to try to get you singled out. So this song started off as most of my songs do. I think I've said that in almost every one of these videos where I sit down and I'm just playing guitar. I was just jamming one day, and I came across this chord progression I really liked, and I started humming a melody, and it sounded really cool, and I was like, holy crap, like, this is pretty sick. Let me record a little voice memo so that I don't forget it, and let me find that voice memo right now. Here it is. August 9th of 2023, almost 2 years ago now. Okay, let me just do the chords with the melody first. So that was me just getting the melody and the chords down, a little bit. And then I did another take here of like the actual rhythm of the chords. That's all I got so far. So then the strumming pattern would be... Yeah, you get the idea. What you hear me doing there with those like falsetto, like da na na na, that's all scat vocals, because I didn't have any lyrics written yet, but I wanted to get, I wanted to capture the melody that I heard in my head. So you just kind of sing gibberish. And the original demo here, or voice memo, was called Awa, because in one of the, I think I was going yeah, like. It sounded kind of like I was saying Awa, and so I just called it Awa, and then that actually ended up inspiring the final name of the song, and the lyrical matter is, because Awa kind of sounds like eyes. I mean, like when you look at the spelling, like, the camera's not focusing. Unbelievable. But Awa, I spelled it Eywa, and then eyes is obviously Eyes, and I was like, oh, like, Awa is kind of close to eyes. And then I was like, okay, Eyes is a really cool song title. And then I was like, okay, well, like, how could that tie into, like, what the lyrics would be about? And then I started thinking about, like, different lyrical ideas and, like, eyes. Like, there's eyes everywhere. There's eyes watching you, or, like, maybe you're watching someone, whatever. So very interesting how all that stuff kind of comes together. But I recorded a little demo in Ableton. Here it is. Here's the demo project file I have right here, which I did on August 27th, which was just a few days later. And then, yeah, this is all the different project files I did to complete the song. But yeah, the demo right there. I'm going to skip over that for now, though, and just go straight to the final project file. Which is where this is the song right here. So I'm going to try and go in like the rough order of how I recorded things. So obviously the guitar and the vocals came first in terms of like the composition, but I recorded the drums first so that when I did go back to record guitar and bass and percussion and vocals, I have like that rhythm to follow along to. The drum track kind of acts as the metronome when I'm tracking everything else. So I almost always record drums first, just so I can have that kind of pulse to record all the other instruments around. All right, here's the verse drums. That just kind of repeats throughout the verses, in the chorus, in the guitar solo. You know, it's all very similar until we get to the bridge drums here, which open up a little more. This is me playing drums on my drum kit back here in the corner of my bedroom studio. I've got all these different mics going on. I've got a kick mic, a snare mic on the top, 2 mics for each of the toms. I've got stereo overheads left and right, and then a knee mic or a fat mic, basically just a mic that kind of sits right on top of the bass drum. And just is really good for getting like a nice punchy kind of overall sound of the drum kit. It's kind of like a mono overhead in a way, but it's like more in the kit as opposed to like above it. I'm doing a little bit of processing on each of these individual drum mic channels. So like the kick out, it sounds like that by itself. I think all these drum channels, yeah, they have a Neve 1073 emulation on them. It's this Arturia pre-1973 I'm using for a little bit. I mean, in this case, I'm not using for any EQ, I'm just using for a little bit of saturation, it looks like. But I think some of these I might be doing a little bit of tone shaping. Yeah, on the snare here, I've got the low shelf doing some stuff. Yeah, so, and then I have like my little drum template stuff here where, you know, I've got a drum gate and a little bit of an EQ. Actually, the EQ is not even activated, but a little bit of compression and gating going on this bass drum. And then, you know, same thing for each of the, you know, the snare mic has a gate, a little bit of low cut, it looks like in this, and then a little bit of compression. A super fat snare sound. I have a piccolo snare. It's like 3.5 by 13, I think. And I just have it dampened with like a handkerchief and tuned like really low. Actually, there's really not that many tom hits in this song at all. There's actually 1 rack tom hit in the entire song, which is right before the bridge. That's it. That's the rack tom. Just same thing. It's got that Neve 1073 and then just a little bit of, you know, my drum template stuff going on. Floor tom. And then that comes in again at the end of the bridge. Overheads are kind of cool. I'll just go to the chorus here. I think I have these in an ORTF configuration, so it's like really wide stereo image. And I have these panned hard left, hard right, so they're all the way out. And then the knee mic, which is a fun one. Can you hear just how like lo-fi and just like punchy that is? The drum bus, it's like I'm running it through a little bit of Soundtoys Radiator and then into an API 2500 UAD. This is a really nice drum compressor. I mean, it's a bus compressor. You could use it for a lot of different stuff, but I really like it for drums. And then a little bit of warm transformer saturation, which is doing just warming up the drums, making them sound a little more analog-y-ish. A little bit of high-cut, low-cut filters to just warm up the drums some more. And then a little bit of J37 tape to just make it, give the drums more of a tapey vibe. I really love J37. I've raved about this plugin many times on my channel here. Then after I recorded the drums, I recorded the bass guitar. Here's the bass in the verse. Yeah, I think I did 3 passes. Yeah, I did 3 just whole passes of the entire song. And then just comped the best of each take. As you can see, mostly the third take is what mostly made it in a majority of the song. But I clipped in little parts from the first take, second take, you know, whatever. Second take didn't really get used at all, just this little part right here. But it's just my Epiphone bass, my black Epiphone bass, which again, I've mentioned on this channel before. I love that bass guitar for like really warm, boomy bass sounds. Running it through this Ampeg SVT. Plugin Alliance, Brainworks, amp, and then I'm using Waves Maserati B72 to just kind of compress the bass. That's pretty much it. I'm not really doing any EQ here. It's basically just compressing the bass a little bit. Let's hop over to the guitar solo here and hear what the drums and the bass sound like together. From there, I added on the guitar, the rhythm guitar. That actually is my Boss Katana amp mic'd up, which is this main track right here that's just labeled R guitar. And then I layered that with a room mic, which it was just a condenser mic, kind of just up here, like over in like kind of the far side of my room here. Just capturing a little bit of like the tiny little room ambience that I do have in here. I played the same guitar, my Squier Stratocaster, through my Boss Katana, running through this Boss SD1 overdrive, which is a really, really amazing guitar pedal. I could have just used one of the built-in overdrives in the Katana because it is a modeling amp, but I like using pedals. And then I mic'd it up with a Sennheiser E609, which is this little mic here. This is probably my go-to mic for like guitar miking, electric guitar amp miking. And Sennheiser E609, highly recommend. So for the choruses, the chord progression actually does change a little bit, and the rhythm guitar is actually playing these chords instead. So the song is actually in the key of B flat minor. Sorry, the mic is blocking my hand. But then what's going on in that chorus is it's actually going up to this F sharp right here, and then it goes back down to the B flat, and then down to this A flat, back to the F sharp, and then it goes back to B flat, and then it goes up to C minor, which is actually like the 2 of that scale, which is supposed to be like a diminished technically, but I just kept it a minor, and it gives like this weird, almost kind of modulation kind of sound. Like it's a cool, I love that turnaround right there. Anyway.
Enough music theory.
I probably recorded the actual guitar solo itself next. That's what this sounds like on its own. Oh yeah. That's just, again, my Squier guitar being run through Neural DSP, Corey Wong archetype. Just got the compressor pedal on. I'm running it through the 3rd amp and cab with some settings turned in various ways. EQ looks like that. Cabinet, I'm only using a Royer R121 there. And then I've got all of the modulation effects activated, the chorus, the delay, and the reverb all doing their thing. Oh yeah, Squier on neck. It's on the neck pickup. There you go. If you care about that stuff. It's my Squier Strat on the neck pickup. I wanted the guitar solo to kind of mirror the main vocal melody and the verses. And so I did it, but put a little bit of extra twing-a-ding, twingly-dingly. Twangle. I don't know. I'm making up words. Just a little extra embellishments to deviate it a little bit from the melody, so it's not just the same thing note for note. That'd be super boring. In the second verse, I added in a little Leslie, I'm sorry, I added in a little Hammond organ. Yeah, it's this Hammond combo B3 running through this Audiomatic Bright, Audiomatic retro transformer thing. This is a really, really cool effect, by the way. Reason's got some really cool stuff. But yeah, just that's what this sounds like on its own. Sounds a little goofy. Just like a goofy little, kind of just something to change up the second verse a little bit to make it a little different than the first verse, just adding another little layer there. Then from there, I must have started messing with some bridge arrangement. This is actually straight from the demo, this little guitar take right here. It's this really reverby kind of guitar tone. It gets a little lost in the mix, once you add in the vocals and stuff. But I love that part. And then when it actually gets into the bridge, it opens up a little more and does some more just like open strumming chord stuff. Run through this Valhalla vintage verb, which was the vintage verb that I used in the demo. A little bit of soothe, looks like down kind of in the mids, just to clean it up a little bit, I guess. And then what I did for the rhythm guitar tracks is I wanted the rhythm guitar tracks to be double tracked and panned a little wider. 2 takes each of the main amp mic and then the room mic, and then panned 40 left, 40 right. And then that's what this all sounds like together. Just a lot wider. It's the exact same amp settings. I'm still running it through the pedal and the same mic position. Everything's exactly the same. I just wanted to double track them for this part just to make the bridge a little bigger. And then I got inspired by Arctic Monkeys for this song big time, specifically Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High. And in the bridge of that song, an acoustic guitar layer comes in, and I thought that would sound really cool for this song too. So I added in a little acoustic guitar layer, chugging away, playing the same chords as the electric guitars. That's the instrumentation. Then we get into the vocals. I wrote the lyrics over the course of, maybe like a month or 2. I mean, it was on and off, obviously. I wasn't just sitting there writing every single day for 2 months. But I wrote some of the lyrics when my fiance and I went on a trip down to San Francisco to see Arctic Monkeys. So I was like kind of inspired by Alex Turner's kind of wittiness and stuff like that in his lyrics. And then I wrote some of the lyrics on my way home from work, just, random times. And, I wrote a majority of the lyrics, though, on that San Francisco trip. So I was really inspired while we were down there. We have my lead vocal in the verses. I see right through you. Eyes don't ever tell a lie in time. Just a little bit of a gate, some Ableton channel EQ, just doing a low shelf to cut out some of the low frequencies a little bit. An LA2A compressor, which is still my go-to compressor for my vocals. I love LA2A. A little bit of de-essing. This is a actual preset from FabFilter Pro Q. It's the Vocal Lead 2 preset under Dynamic Vocals, and then it's Vocal Lead 2. I really like this preset a lot on my voice, and then the cool thing is I can always go through and adjust it a little bit, but it's such a good EQ preset for my voice. I really love the way it sounds. A little bit of a low cut, and then I'm also doing some tape saturation to just dirty the vocal up a little bit. And then I'm also layering that vocal with a falsetto layer, because on the voice memo on my phone, I was doing the vocal melody in my falsetto. And originally when I recorded the demo for this song, I had the vocal in like a falsetto register. I thought it sounded kind of whimsical and whatever, but then when it came down to it, I was like, this just sounds absolutely silly. So I recorded the vocal like in my regular like chest voice, and then the falsetto take acted as just a layer to add a little bit more airiness and a little bit of that falsetto-ish-ness to the vocal. That's this by itself. See right through you. Eyes don't ever tell a lie in time. But together, the lead vocal and the falsetto vocal sound like this. I see right through you. Eyes don't ever tell a lie in time. That formation just stays pretty consistent throughout the whole song. I mean, really, it's just that main like vocal layer, just me singing in my chest voice with a falsetto layer all the way through. In the choruses, I'm doing a little bit of double tracking, a little bit more like double, quadruple tracking to just add a little bit more excitement to the vocals in these choruses. So in this first chorus, I've got 2 double tracks. in this last chorus, I've got quadruple tracks going here. I'll just skip over to the second chorus here and show you what all these layers sound like. I am so wrapped in your perceived meaning, too naive. Oh, and then it also looks like for this part of the song, at least in this second chorus, I'm also actually layering in like a whisper vocal layer, which is actually being run through iZotope vocal synth on the CompuVox setting, which gives this really weird, eerie, disgusting horror movie sound. I'm basically just doing that to add more high end to the vocals in this song, and just to add a little bit more extra texture. I also forgot to mention the lead vocals are being run through some return tracks as well. That's what actually most of these return tracks down here are. I've got a slapback delay I'm running the vocals through. I've got a quadruple note delay, or a quarter note delay, being run through, or the vocals running through there. I've got another eighth note delay here, which is Waves H delay with a little bit of overdrive coming before it and the width taken down and a little bit of chorus. That might actually be used for some delay throws because it's ping pong too. I bet that was used for kind of the end of this first chorus here. Will I get to see today? I can't wait. Yeah, just to kind of add some build up there. Then the bridge is where things start getting like really complex in terms of vocal layering. I have the, my lead vocal here. I'm seeing myself out. It's such a waste of time to try to get you singled out. Cycle repeats itself, your pride tied. Then it's being layered with all of these bridge vocals, this huge amount of like gang vocals almost. I'm seeing myself out. It's such a waste of time to try to get you singled out. And then I overdub the really high note. The really high note at the end of the bridge is a note that I cannot hit consistently. That is I pushed myself to the max, and I only was able to hit this note maybe 2 or 3 times, and then after that, my voice, I couldn't do it anymore. So I did have to overdub this part in. That's why in all those vocal takes, you hear me going down on your pride's high tide on that lyric. So I overdubbed that very last part in. Your pride's high tide. Very strenuous on the voice, let me tell you. A lot of stuff going on there, but it's very exciting. I really like it. And then there's a little breakdown that comes right after the bridge, and then I actually have the lead vocal get filtered. I see right through you. Eyes don't ever tell a lie. In time. Just to really bring you get the bridge that opens up, it's really loud, there's a lot going on, and then it just shrinks back down, and the vocal gets filtered, and it's like really just small and quaint, and it's really cool. I think, I just automated this filter right here that only comes on in this breakdown. It might actually come on earlier in the second verse too, at the beginning of that. Yeah, so that's just being automated on to filter that vocal out. And then at the outro of the song, then everything kind of blows back up a little bit again. Some of the familiar instrumentation from the verse comes back, and then I have this big gang vocal bit come in, which is probably one of my favorite parts of the song too. So yeah, that is my song, Eyes. A little bit late to the party here with this video, but I just had no motivation to make YouTube videos a few months ago, so I'm really glad I finally got to talk about this song. I love this song. I'm still really proud of it to this day, and the music video is super sick. It's a fun little DIY music video that me and my friend filmed together, And with this camera that I'm filming with right now, but with the night vision, I'm just filming some random crap, here around my studio and where I've got my studio posted up. But yeah, the link for this song and the album that it's off of will be in the description below. You can check it out. And but yeah, anyway, thank you for watching this video and watching how the song was created. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions or if there's anything you're wondering about the song that I didn't answer in this video, leave a comment and I will get back to you. And don't forget to go stream my newest album, Comped. And I've got a lot of new music and stuff out right now. It's really exciting. So appreciate you, and you take care. And I will see you back here again in the future. See you later. Peace out.